So I think we should start right now. Um, yeah. So can you say the slide?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the screen page of the SIAP Hello program. So I yeah. So this is the just kind of a guideline. So you have to change your name. This is example, and I think everybody is here can my voice very clearly. So the real-time webinar with Georgia, yeah, it will be presented from 10 o'clock to 11. Okay. So yeah, before we start, let's introduce our chairman, yeah, Yang Choi. He is CEO of Gyok Partners, and I'm coordinator of KTPA. So this is timetable for a real-time webinar. So I think as an ice breaking, we should have time for self-introduction and what is your expectation from online training, and what do you most want to do when you visit South Korea? So can you start? So who will be the first?
Well, I can start.
Okay, thank you so much.
So I am Cassie from Georgia's Innovation and Technology Agency. I'm the Innovation Community Development Manager. Actually, from this training, I expect a lot, honestly, because considering the level of technology and innovation in Georgia and technoparks in our country, and considering that it's a new relatively to other countries, and we need still a lot to do to develop it and to take it to higher level. I think it's crucial to learn the techniques, the entire structure of organization and management skills for managing the entire technopark. So I believe when we're at this level, we need to learn more and apply all this knowledge to the real-time situation in our technopark. So I really expect to learn all those necessary skills from this training to help the Georgian technopark develop more. So regarding visiting South Korea, honestly, I don't know what I want to do when I visit it, but I love traveling. I love exploring new cultures, communicating with people from with different points of view, with different traditions, with different ideas. So I guess it would be really interesting to explore all that when visiting another country, but especially South Korea with its huge history and culture. So yeah, that's what I expect and what I want to do when I visit it. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And who's going to be the second person?
I will. I'm Sophia, officially Sophia, but everyone calls me Sophia. I'm from Innovation and Technology Agency too. I'm manager of Technopark in Tel Aviv. And I expect to get some new skills, some experience from you, and I don't know. We will see after we complete these trainings.
Okay, thank you so much, Sophia. And Cassie, is there Cassie?
Yeah.
Khatia.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
another
sorry.
one.
Yeah,
Yes, excuse me, I cannot turn on my web camera, but can I speak with you
Yes.
without camera?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes, nice to meet you at first. I'm Khatia Baindurashvili. I'm the manager of Kaspi Tech Park, which we have to open tomorrow. I'm very glad that you are talking us and listening to this training, because it is on the example of your current tech park that we can establish and successful and different management.
Okay, so is there anything that you want to do when you're visiting Korea? Maybe you can visit Technoparks of Korea.
Just now, no.
Okay, then you can find something that when you're visiting South Korea, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so thank you so much for your self-introduction. So actually on the timetable, you can see that I just set for 5 minutes for introduction of progress method, but I think it's very simple. Yeah, for 15 minutes, you have to deliver your presentation and country report. And when you're finishing your country report, Mr. Choi, chairman of this real-time webinar, he will give you some comment and some feedback on the country report. And after completing those two things, we have time for discussion and Q&A regarding building action plan. So, Sophia, can you deliver your presentation on your country report?
Cassie will deliver it.
Yeah, I am
Yeah.
delivering it. Okay. So one comment before I started. Yesterday I asked in WhatsApp Messenger about the PowerPoint version, but actually you said it like you did not really answer to it, so I don't think we had to prepare it, right? We can just share the Word file. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, it's really okay. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll start it. 1 second. Share.
이분한테 자료 공유할 수 있도록.
You see it, right? Or
Okay,
no?
just comment. 특별히 설정해둔 게 없는.
Okay, chance, Cassie. Yeah, we can see it.
Or Cassie, can I share the Word file with you because I can change it here.
Should I stop sharing it or?
Oh, okay. Just a moment.
Okay.
됐나요? 이거 아니에요? 맞아요. 근데 이거는 제가 sorry for saying in Korean.
That's fine.
아니면 이분한테 호스트 만들기. Actually, we said that every participant in this June conference can share your material. So you can share your material.
Yeah, and I'm sharing screen already. Can't you see it?
Oh yeah, I can see it very clearly.
Okay, perfect. So I can start. Actually, we have already presented ourselves, and there are two other members who are not present today, Anuki and Ketevan, also managers of two other tech parks in Georgia and other regions. The general overview of the country, you see how small our country is on the globe. Our capital is Tbilisi, religion, Orthodox Christianity, area is very small, like 69,700 square kilometers, population 3,716,000. It's a 2020 estimate. Gross national income per capita is $1,000. Gross domestic product per capita is $4,700 approximately. Let's move on. So country overview. So that you get a better idea where Georgia is located, it's bounded on the north and northeast by Russia, on the east and southeast by Azerbaijan, and on the south by Armenia and Turkey. And on the west, there is a Black Sea, as you see on the map. Climate is affected actually by subtropical influences from the west and continental influences from the east. And the Greater Caucasus that is on like here, if you see how I show it to you on the map, it's actually a border serving as a barrier against cold air from the north. So I won't go into very details, because we don't have a lot of time, as I know, right? Okay, so demographic trends. Population is aging. We're a really small country, and the birth rate is below the global average, and the death rate is above the world's average. So that's a really bad statistic, I believe. About 1/5 of the population is under 15, while another 2/5 are age 45 or older. And you can see the graph here. And life expectancy is 72 years for men and 81 years for women.
Essie, I'm sorry. Sophia, can you let in Anuki?
Okay.
She is waiting for us. Sorry, Cassie.
I don't, that's fine.
카메라에 저기가 오진 않던데요. Actually, Anuki is not here. I can find her.
Just a moment, I will write her.
Maybe she's in another room.
Maybe.
Maybe she tried the previous link.
Yes, maybe. And Cassie, I'm so sorry, but
No, I just shared with her new one.
Okay. But actually, while we are waiting her,
Yeah.
Cassie, can you share your Word file, because I think the screen that we are watching is the things that I shared with my computer.
So you want me to send this file to you
Oh,
separately?
no, no, no. You can share your Word file, but
Yeah.
actually the things that you're seeing right now is that the Word file that I shared with you. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Actually,
exactly.
no, this is the updated one.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
because-
we didn't change really all the things, but it's now 31 pages. We've added a lot of things. So this is
yeah,
just, it looks familiar to you. That's why. Okay. Can I continue, or is that okay with us?
But actually, Anuki is not here.
I just shared new ID, so she will come
Okay, or as
after 2 minutes, I guess.
actually, I've just sent new message to Anuki with new Zoom ID. Okay, but we don't have enough time, so I think we should proceed again.
Should I continue or start over?
Oh, I think it's better to continue.
Okay, perfect. So the Georgian economy, it's a brief overview as well. Georgian economy includes diversified and mechanized agriculture alongside a well-developed industrial base. It's almost about half of the gross domestic product that accounts for agriculture, and employs about 1/4 of the labor force. The industry and service sectors each employ about 1/5 of the labor force. Economic outlook, the economy is projected to contract by 6% in 2020, with severe welfare impacts and projected poverty increases of up to 2.8 percentage points. That's due to COVID, as we'll understand. This translates into 160,000 Georgians becoming impoverished. In addition, over 400,000 could suffer downward mobility. This is a table that you can see here. Scale of GDP is $4,285. You can see the data from 2020 as well, which is not complete, of course, because it's not the end of the year, but the first quartile. Economic growth rate for the previous 3 years, in 2017 it was 1.94%, then 0.03%, and last year 0.27%. So this data is also very negative, I would say. Status of trade in our country is free trade area. Georgia is very open to international trade, while it accounts for 112% of GDP in 2018 due to the World Bank data. The country has no foreign exchange controls, allows foreign investment in almost all sectors, and has an impressive privatization program, particularly in terms of land allocation. The main products exported in 2018 were copper ores and concentrates, vehicles, ferroalloys, wine, and cigarettes. Main imports were petroleum oils, vehicles, copper ores, pharmaceuticals, and petroleum gases. Georgia's main customers are Azerbaijan, Russia, Armenia, and Bulgaria. And main suppliers are Turkey, Russia, China, and Azerbaijan. Georgia was the second former member of the Soviet Union to join the WTO, and now it has association agreement with EU. The agreement introduces the preferential trade regime, the deep and comprehensive free trade area. And this regime increases market access between the EU and Georgia based on having better matched regulations, which actually supported our economy very much. This is actually the graphs showing the trade picture, like general picture in Georgia, and it's from 2017, 18, and 19 years. Trade in services, foreign direct investments with balance, outward stocks, inward stocks, and you can see all those data. I won't go into very details as well. This is data for imports, exports in balance from 2009 to 2019, like 10-year data. EU trade flows in balance of total goods. This is also with more numbers, total goods, top trading partners in 2019, where EU, China are the leaders, then USA for exports, also USA for total trade. So in total, export and import is, 2,071,000 and $4,951,000. This is also another table for the same data showing that Azerbaijan and Russia are leaders for export by countries, and then Turkey and Russia are leaders for import by countries, and then are China, United States, and so on and so on. Employment rate in Georgia is 87.7%. And our economic development goal for the time period in 3 years, so it's from 2018 to 2020, the country has a sound macroeconomic framework, an attractive business environment, and robust public financial management arrangements. And the World Bank's World Governance Indicators continue to rank Georgia among the best countries in Europe in terms of control of corruption, and also for ease of doing business from 2020 reports. Georgia remained one of the most business-friendly countries globally, ranked 7 out of 190 countries. So main projects in the country, Georgia's intention is to sign a free trade agreement, which can also be called a large-scale material project, leading to quite tangible results. Our agreements are already enforced with such major world markets as the EU, China, Hong Kong, Turkey, and Norway, and negotiations are underway on strategic cooperation with India and the United States. And there are more numbers, okay. So industries now, like in more details. You had comment there about another industry because we had only wine production, so we added that too, but I'll start with wine production first. This is our top industry in terms of cultural importance. UNESCO added the ancient traditional Georgian winemaking method using the Kvevri, that's how we call it, clay jars, to the UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage lists. And actually our agency, GITA, managed to entry-level mobile and web development training programs in winemaking and other services, so we've also supported that direction. So status of trade in this industry, it's $73,249,000 in January, May 2020. That's data where we took the data from, the time period. And imports is $28.4 million. Principal trading countries for wine is Ukraine, China, Kazakhstan, Poland, Latvia, Belarus, Estonia, Lithuania, and Germany. Regarding the human resource, that was one of the data that we really cannot find anywhere, but we estimated, so we used this table. So you can see that working age population is 64% of the entire population, with this exact number shown here, out of which only 73% is in the labor force. And out of the 73%, only 87% is employed, so about 1,491,000. And out of this number, only 28% is self-employed and 1% entrepreneur. So we can estimate that it's about 200,000 people maximum engaged in winemaking production in our country. So R&D information, actually we cannot get the R&D information on winemaking industry in specific. That's a very general one. But the second industry that we added is the metallurgy industry, which is very popular in our country. So Rustavi Metallurgical Plant is the largest one in the entire Caucasus region. The plant is operating successfully and is manufacturing reinforcing bars, seamless pipes, pig iron castings, metal constructions, mechanical parts, granuated slag, and so on. Status of government policies. So steel processing is worth about 2.5% of our GDP when classified along with ferroalloy. Separately, it's only 0.4% of GDP. And it's hard to be sure like how many people are employed due to the statistical and like data lackage in our country, but estimate is about 3,000 people employed in this direction. So level of technology in this industry. To strengthen its market position, management's first task is to increase the plant's production capacity. Systematic modernization and re-equipment program is already underway. New technologies are being introduced. Training of young employees with the help of experienced professionals has been given a priority as well from the side of our government. So in this industry, export equals to $354 million estimate, and import is $194 million. And you can see the graphs here by years, how this estimates change and vary, which you can see is not stable at all. So principal trading countries for this direction, European Union, US, Russia, and Middle Eastern markets, as well as Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Turkey. And also proportion of R&D is not like accessible for us, this information, sadly. Okay, so let's move on to the next part. Also some details about the industry, more specific directions within the industry and so on. Now let's move on to the status of SMEs and startups in the country. So for SMEs, there are about 183,800, from 2019 data. Proportion of it. So the total number of active enterprises constitutes 94%, out of which 9% is for medium and 85% is for small. Regarding startups, we have only 87 startups in the country. And share of tech startups and the total number of active enterprises, like in total in the country, is only 0.04%. So major industries of SMEs, this is data from 2015 because later data does not exist simply. As trade and household services, manufacturing, real estate and business services, transport and communications, construction, community, social and personal services, agriculture, hunting and forestry, hotels and restaurants, and others is 14.2%. And for startup distribution by industry, that's the latest one from 2020. It's mostly ICT, gaming, and media for 50%. Then comes mechanical and civil engineering, agriculture and food products, artificial intelligence, arts and fashion, biotech, healthcare and pharmaceutical, computer, hardware and electronics, consulting and other services, energy, environment, green technology. So level of corporate development in this industry, in particular, Georgia's Innovation Technology Agency, from which we are presented here, the GTA's mission is the formation of an ecosystem which improves all kinds of innovations and technologies in our country, to promote a commercialization of knowledge and innovations, to stimulate their usage in all fields of economy, to create an environment for the growth of innovations in high-tech products and developing high-speed internet nationwide, which we started 2 years ago, and we've helped like about 70 villages we've provided with internet. GITA has 87 beneficiary tech startups, out of which the most are at the MVP level, developing toward the level of selling products. Out of 87 startups, 11 have received 650K co-funding from us, while 76 have received 100K co-funding from GITA. So this is another statistic for gender employed, full-time employees. So 39% is female and 61% is male. So you see the gender gap here also, especially in tech direction. Now, okay, this is more and more details. Okay, so the difficulties for the first industry that we discussed, the metallurgy one and mining. So first one is lack of free and centrally available geological and other data on possible mining sites. Second one is license fee for exploration per hectare is very high in international comparison and further contributes to significant upfront costs for investors. And three, the minimum price of auctions with usually only one bidder creates an obstacle to investment compared to the later collection of the same fiscal revenue. It increases the financial burden to investors in the early phase of an investment with a potentially strained liquidity situation. So, side of support for SMEs and startups. In this regard, even though the SME Policy Index study ranked Georgia as the best of the Eastern Partnership countries, the main challenges for Georgia remain the following. Number one, access to finance. Number two, skills mismatch in the labor market. And number three, low job creation. Even though the Georgia government made a huge progress to decrease entry barriers for SMEs by simplifying business registration, reducing taxes for small businesses, and introducing robust regulatory and legal initiatives, limited access to finance still remains a major obstacle to the SME sector. As a result, this leads to SMEs remaining low and representing only 16% of all the lending. Okay, let's move on. So processing solutions. Entrepreneurial culture is new for Georgian society. I should say it again. Historically, vocational education training has not been an attractive educational alternative for many school graduates because at first, most popular one was like to be a doctor, then business and etc., but not the vocational direction. Therefore, promotion of entrepreneurship at all level of education, especially at schools and by introducing success stories is very crucial for Georgia. Training for SME skills development for existing SMEs. Both state and international programs operating to support SME development in Georgia nowadays are offering as a second component training and capacity building as a major part of SME development. So the objective of the small grants program, which we provide, is to create new businesses and startups, support R&D commercialization, and aid the existing SMEs to develop their products by innovative approaches. We have the micro grants program aiming to support innovative ideas and their commercialization by financing the, number one, creation of prototypes of certain idea. Number two, organization of innovation competitions. And number three, study visits for tech direction, of course. Another thing is the goal of the program Startup Georgia is to stimulate business innovation and entrepreneurship through access to finance for startups with innovative and high-tech ideas and facilitate venture funding for further growth and development. And the last one, the objective of the matching grants program, and I already mentioned the amount of startups that we supported with this matching grants program for 650K and 100K grants, is to stimulate the innovation and creation of innovative enterprises in the Georgian economy through product, services, process and technology development, adoption, and commercialization. So basically, what JITA does in this regard is very important because we have in total 87 beneficiary startups, out of which none of them has gone to the profit gaining level. They are still MVP and they still need a lot of support from our side, but consider that JITA started operating in 2014, so we're relatively new. It's been only 6 years, and majority of these 87 startups have joined us during last 2 years. So they still need a lot of time to develop themselves and get profit. So this is the situation in our country, and I guess with this presentation you get.
Actually, we have some problem with the connecting. Cassie, can you hear me? Because your screen is stopped. Sophia, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you,
Yeah,
but I can't see Cassie, so I will write her.
Okay, I'll send her.
Just a moment. She has some problem with internet, so she will join after 1 minute.
Okay.
But we have here Anuki.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she can turn on her video.
Hello, everyone.
Hello from whom? Because I can see you.
She can't turn on her video.
I can't. Yeah, I can't because I'm not right now. I'm not home, and
Is that you, Anuki?
Yes.
Okay. Hello.
Hello again.
Okay. Welcome. Welcome again.
Thank you.
So until now, we are listening to the presentation of Cassie, and I think she has some problem with connecting the internet.
I was here. I was listening to Casey.
Oh, I'm so sorry because I could see you, so I was yeah, a little bit confused of it.
Mm.
She will join us after 1 minute. Sorry.
So I think it's better to just completing her presentation, and after finishing her presentation, we should move to the feedback, right? Mhm.
Sure.
Actually, everybody says that corona pandemic changes a lot, and they say untact is a kind of big trend, but I don't know. It can be another good way for changing our lives because we have some problem with connecting right now.
Yeah.
So I don't think it can change it a lot. Okay, so she's in. Okay, I can see you.
I'm so sorry, my internet went down. I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry. Actually, I was finishing. Yeah, that was all. I was saying my last word when it went down. So.
But you have to share your presentation material.
1 second. Start sharing. You don't see anything right now, yeah? Do you see my screen now or no? Hold on. Share. Do you see it now?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, the last part was about GTS evaluation. Yeah, what it does for Georgia's innovation ecosystem and how important it is for our startups and SMEs. Yeah, basically that was all that I wanted to cover through this presentation. Yeah, and the only things that we had to leave blank, considering your comments, were the R&D data, and some of the data were relatively old because they simply don't exist from like the latest years. So that was the main problem, and we're sorry for that, but they simply don't exist. Okay, if you have any questions or any comments or anything to say.
Okay, Cassie, I really thank you for your presentation, your great presentation. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, I think it's time to move to the feedback. Mr. Choi, yeah, he will give you a feedback and comments on the country report.
I'd love to hear.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
My name is Yang Choi. I think that you have seen my photo by online interview, right?
Yes.
Thank all the attendants, especially Cash and Sophia, for good revising and presentation on country reports. I know that Georgia has a beautiful Technopark model. I wonder where a Georgian Technopark model is started.
Could you please repeat the question? Sorry, I didn't hear the last part.
When is the Georgian Technopark model started?
Technopark model, when it started?
Yeah,
It started in 2014, 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
6 years ago, so it's relatively new. And also, when I mentioned 87 beneficiary startups that we have, majority of them, like more than 60% of them, were funded during the last 2 years. So it's been increasing slowly. So yeah, that's why they're not yet on the profit gaining level.
Fortunately, you know, your country has a different stage for developing Technopark model because you have set beautiful Georgian Technopark model than any other joining this program, excluding Georgia. So I'd like, what's the main industry for playing a role through GTAP in Georgia?
So a major industry that we actually fund
Yeah,
and work with, that's basically a gaming
Amy?
industry, and I should go back to this information. I'm so sorry. Yeah, you're right here. You see this? It's ICT, gaming, and media for 50%. That's the major industry. And then goes by 10%, it's agriculture and food products and artificial intelligence. Those three are the leaders, but most of all, ICT, gaming, and media.
How about wine industry?
Wine industry goes to, I guess, biotech, which is 6% and includes healthcare and pharmaceuticals as well. This is like combination of all three that is shown on this diagram. It goes into biotech winemaking.
Okay. Through your consular efforts, there are many countries for trading for your country. Then, are there any countries collaboration program with any other Asian countries?
Actually, I don't think so. The countries that I named, those are the major ones that we are aware of and that are like publicly declared on web pages of the government. There might be some others, but I don't think they're like publicly available for us to know. So I'm not aware of that, honestly.
Through the result of analysis, such as country report, I think the important thing for this analysis, we should draw on implication for various sectors for developing your country. But the implication drawn on your country report are simply not presented or described in detail. So I want to let us know the detailed information for issues for developing your industry according by country and region side.
So like more detailed information for the reasons.
Yeah.
Okay. I will try to get that information, but honestly, we've been working on this for 2 weeks, and that's all the information that exists in Georgia. And I don't think I should be saying this, but I will tell you in any way. The problem of the entire Georgia is that when something is not working properly, when something is lacking some, I don't know, some knowledge or skill or something, they simply ignore it. It doesn't matter if you go to any ministry, if like any public agency, and ask them like why something is not working at this structure, at this organization. They will answer you, we have not really observed it that deeply and we don't know. So even if you Google, I'm just saying in general, even if you Google or go to some officials from the ministers and talk to them. You're a student, let's say, doing your research, and you need some information, right? They will not be able to provide it. So all that there is in this file, and I will send it to you also because I did not really cover all the phrases here, and you might find more details in this. I will send it to you anyway, and you can take a look at it anytime. All that there is included in this file is that is available for us to see and get information in our country. So that is a problem. To tell you and to answer to your question, like in more details for the reasons why there's those problems, I think we need to make a longer research, which might take like months, 2 or 3 months minimum. So I'm so sorry to tell you this. It's not because we didn't try to find it. We did our best for this period of time, but simply it's impossible to get more information on this. So I will send you this file, of course. Can you tell me which email should I use? The one that you send us from mails on Gmail, or which one?
Yeah,
Or
actually,
how should I send it to you?
yeah,
to
you
you.
can send- mhm.
Okay, I will. So yeah, that's it.
If you send your mail to Mr. Hong, we'll share with you information. Okay.
Okay,
Um,
thank you.
for this project, I think it's very important for you to draw the critical implication for developing your country, and it's divided by your country and regional. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understand.
The recent study of the Korea regional industry is transitioning from hierarchical structure to dispersive or scattered structure. Is there any change trend in your country, in local government and the central government?
Actually, there are several trends in this direction. First off, about 6 years ago, the year when GTA was opened, no one really believed that funding and supporting the SMEs and startups financially would be of any benefit, and they thought it would be just waste of money. And all of a sudden, they were really sure that this was beneficial at some point, because after several years, the state would also get money from this, get revenue from this, from their profit and etc. And then later, more and more money was allocated for this, from their side, from the government. But now, this year, as COVID exploded, there's a new trend here. The trend of increasing the fund stopped at some point, and now there raised new questions. Should we continue funding the startups because we have some other more crucial things to fund, and we still have not seen any profit from them. And this year, actually, this was a new task for us, for GTA. We were trying to convince the government that 6 years, and even less, because major number of startups joined us like later than 2014. 6 years and less than that is not enough for startup to move on to the profit level. They still need some time to work with the support of the government or international investors, and time by time they will reach that level. It needs time, and we actually used Estonian model to explain that to them. Because Estonia started all this in 2006 and or 2008, and it's like more than 6 years now. So these are the major trends that we have in Georgia in terms of the government support and what they do for us. So yeah, now we're at this facing this challenge of proving how important it is to fund startups, even if it's COVID or whatever it is.
Your presentation shows the processing solutions for side of support for SMEs and startups, entrepreneurial culture, and vocational education training. I think that there are any difference between entrepreneurial culture and vocational training system. So I think your country is focused on the entrepreneurial culture or entrepreneurship rather than vocational training system for developing your country or region. What do you think about?
What I think about is that yes, we're more focused on entrepreneurship, which I would compare it to this kind of thing. It's more focusing on the result than on the process of reaching the result. So we want to have startups, we want to have ready to go entrepreneurs, but we don't want to train people to gain enough level to become entrepreneurs. Anyone with an idea, that's the another trend, thanks for reminding me that, in Georgia, anyone with an idea who believes that the idea has a potential for the future comes out and says, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm doing the business, give me money. Personally, I believe it doesn't work this way, because if you don't have vocational trainings, if you don't get people who know how to work with some things, some tangible things, not with just ideas, you don't have team to support you to reach your goal and fulfill your dream or whatever it is to become an entrepreneur and make a business. So this is the kind of gap between the two tasks and two ideologies in Georgia. We want result without training, without working on specific tasks to reach the result. So I would say that orienting and focusing on entrepreneurship and not orienting on vocational training and education and giving it a status of a secondary or tertiary importance is a kind of a discrepancy in priorities a little bit, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. I don't know.
I agree with you, Cassie.
Okay, and there are some problems for developing your country or region in industry side. The most important thing for developing your industry is financing.
Financing, yeah.
Is there any policy for raising fund or recruit raising from any other country, such as EU?
Any other country supporting these businesses?
Yeah, fund business.
Actually, so I will start with Georgia first. In Georgia, we have two major agencies funding SMEs and startups. One is JITA, our agency, and the second one is Manufacturing Georgia. It's called this way, but it's more oriented not on tech, but on like more vocational part, more like agricultural parts, without programming and like the tech direction. So these two in Georgia, and then we have programs supporting these SMEs and startups to communicate with international sponsors, international organizations, also having accelerators, incubators, or just promoting them or giving funds, and we support them through being an mediator in between the two sides, the Georgian SMEs and the international organizations. So to say that they're like specific countries we're working with, no. As soon as we get the opportunity and news about an organization providing this kind of support, we try to communicate with them, start partnership with them, or memorandums and so on. And for now, I'm sure we have it with the US, United States. We have it with Ukraine, with Germany, and I'm not sure about Asia, honestly. Yeah, so this is the situation, but my another concern was that there is no such network of like the official network of having this and this partners. It's like we found the opportunity, we grab it. No, it should be like in an organized, managed manner, and like officially network status it should be given, so that we know that these are our partner countries, these are our partner organizations, and it's not like one-time support or one-time partnership. It's like we work on it and we develop it. So this is the system that we do not have in Georgia, in nor in GITA nor in the other foundations. So yeah, this is another challenge for us.
Let's talk to you more deeply for your main role. Platform.
So sorry, I don't hear your voice.
Platform.
Yeah.
You have any platform system in your country or GITA, any other original development agency?
No, we don't.
Do you have any plan to establish?
Honestly, they were negotiating on this task in the Ministry of Economy, under which we operate our agency, but I don't think they reached any consensus or decided anything yet. So I'm not
yes.
sure about it yet.
Yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, as you may know, the main role of Technopark, reindustrialization, regional development, and the synergy effect through networking hubs. So it's the most thing for your role is making or establishing a platform system for specifying your country-wide region. So I recommend your country is going to make a platform system, specify your main industry. Okay? Yeah.
Thank you.
One question. The important thing for supporting SME and startups in your country, I think, is setting a suitable database for supporting your entrepreneur or big company and any other foreign entrepreneur. So do you have any suitable data collecting system in your country or GITA?
So for GITA, we have World Bank's office in Georgia, which monitors all the funding and all the startup support. They have the database, but that's only for our beneficiary startups, because we do not really go like across Georgia and explore everything. It's just about our beneficiaries. I believe the manufacturing in Georgia, the other agency that I mentioned earlier, also has its monitoring system.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, they have. And there's Geostat that does the monitoring in general of everything in Georgia, and also the numbers and the revenues and statuses and everything. But they do not really have the collection of all those information. So another problem here. Good point. So we do have the separate monitoring systems for each agency, but not the collective system of like collecting all the information across Georgia and putting it in one format. We don't have that kind of system. It's just separate agency systems. That's why we found it really hard to get some information and data for this presentation.
For your reference, there are 3 or 4 strategic industry in Korea. Strategic industry in Korea by a regional characteristic. So, do you have any regional strategic industry for developing in less or more areas?
Sophia, I think I will need your help in this a little bit.
Strategic or main industry for region.
So I can share my experience. In Tel Aviv, we have like winemaking industry because Tel Aviv is like city of wine. So, but we have here traditional methods of making wine. So we don't have any startups in this industry. So I want to get some experience from you to make these traditional methods like more innovative, because we don't have it in this region, unfortunately.
Do you have any grand design for establishing or citing a regional strategy industry?
We don't have it. I think, yeah, we don't have in my region. We don't have it, but we can ask Anuke. What about Sugdidi?
Okay. Sorry. I'm like Sugdidi Tech Park manager, which is west part of Georgia. I'm in Sabegrelo region. And actually in regions we have like same situation. For example, in Zugdidi, we don't have any startups, tech startups, I mean, most of them, which is using, for example, tech parks and fab labs materials and resources. They are coming for like to use our tech machines and to like involve some different kind of trainings, and that's all. They are not making some innovative and tech ideas or things. And we just calling them just like handicraft. They are making just handicraft things, and by using by using our like fab lab resources, and that's all.
Yeah, like wooden, like toys or something. It's not
Or something like
startups.
that.
Yeah.
Different items by our like tech machines.
Mm-hmm.
All of us need to make a strategic industry in region or country, because all of us have the limited resources. So is meaningful uses for developing your country or region. So I recommend you to making a strategic industry by a region characteristic. Okay. What do you think about it? Yeah. Andre? Can you hear
Can
me?
you repeat question? Sorry.
All of us need to make a strategic industry,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
or especially region development, because we have the limited resources. So I recommended you to make a strategic industry, including wine, steel, energy, tourism. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's okay.
Yeah.
If possible, is reflected to your action plan report.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but because of we are here, we need to like get more experience and get more information about how to like grow and how to establish these kind of industries in our region.
Okay, yeah,
In my region, actually, winemaking is strategic industry. But I want to find some ways to make this more innovative and like make. I want to take experience from you how to make it. And this is the reason why I'm attending this trainings.
I know the wine industry is very competitive, global competitive in
Yeah.
quality. But how about
But
price
Georgia's wine is
competition
like.
in wine industry? What do you think about it?
Sorry, can you
Price,
repeat?
price competitive in wine. I know that wine industry is very competitive in quality.
Yeah.
But how about price competitive?
Oh, prices of wine in Georgia.
Prices.
It depends on, if we tell you in dollars, it might range from I don't know, like $10 to 20 and 30, like maximum, very maximum, yeah. Because it's more oriented on the local market. We, of course, we export it, but mostly we also sell it inside our country. It's fitted more on suited on the availability of the local people, you know, like how much they can afford, so that they can sell the wine.
Yeah. Generally, there are two kinds of competitive for developing industry, which quality and price. So your country is emphasized on the price competition for developing your wine industry, any other major industry.
Any other industry? So we also have pharmaceuticals.
Maybe steel or tourism and any other.
Tourism, of course, tourism. Because this COVID-19, like all the tourism is dead in the country. Like it's absolutely dead. It's only on locals now. If we decide from one city to go to another city for a vacation, that's all we do now, because there are no internationals in the country anymore. So we consider it to be dead at this, like, for this time. So let's see what will be in the future. But before this COVID pandemic, it was very, very top industry in the country, because we've had many Russians, Asians, like from all the, like, I don't know, many countries of Asia. We've had from the USA, from I don't know, Turkey, Azerbaijan, and many tourists. And we've also had many tourism destinations. For example, Batumi, which is the Black Sea coastal city. It's still very popular, even for us, for Georgians, but it was mainly for international tourists, and now it's also dead. So yeah, it is one of the major industries of our country because of the high mountainous regions and very beautiful cities and villages that we have, and tourism attractions. But for now, I think it's, I don't know, it doesn't really make sense to talk about it even for let's say a year or so. So for now, we don't really consider it as a like active industry.
So for now, active industry is winemaking. Yeah. And when we will visit South Korea, you will have opportunity to taste our wine.
Of course.
For sure.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation, and thank you for your comments. Yeah, I think it's time. It's really helpful for our building action plan. And last Friday or Thursday, I sent you template for action plan by email. So I think all of you guys check those templates. So you have to submit after completing action. Get the action plan by 2nd November, and for the second real-time webinar, that's for 5th November, right? So you have to have a presentation about action plan. So if you have more questions about this webinar or building action plan, you have to leave your question or on Google Classroom, or you have to send me a message via WhatsApp, right? Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for
Thank
your.
you very much.
Nice talking
Thank
to you.
you. Nice to
Bye-bye.
meet you.
See you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
November. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.